Good morning, students. In this session is a continuation of Geography first unit, Asia and Europe. In a previous class, we have discussed about the location and area of Asia, boundaries of Asia, political divisions, then physiographic divisions, and then their major 5 parts. Next, the drainage, climate and natural vegetation in Asia. In this session, we are going to see the remaining topic of Asia, the resource base and economic activities. Which are the resources are available in Asia? How what is it used? The economic activities. Now we are going to see one by one. When we are seeing the resource base, the first important thing is mineral resource. Mineral resource is very important to the economic activities. So, which are the mineral resources are available in Asia? Iron, coal, magnesium, bauxite, zinc, tungsten, petroleum, tin. So, these are the mineral resources are available in Asia. So, if we compare with the other countries, that 1/3 of the world's oil is produced in Asia. 1/3 of oil. So, compare with the other countries, in Asia only produce that 1/3 of oil in this world. The next, among the West Asian countries, if we see West Asian countries has, what is it? That Iran, particularly that Iran, here it is, Iran, it's produced that considerable wealth of minerals resources, particularly in Iran. West Asian country, Iran, it's, what is it, produce considerable resources, what is it, rich resources. So the important minerals found in Asia are, first we are going to see iron ore. In which are the places are available to get the iron ore? If you see, Asia has the largest deposits of the iron ore in the world. Asia is the first country to deposit the iron in the world. So China and India, particularly China and India are the important iron ore deposits country in the Asia. If we see Asia, India and China, the two countries are deposits the more number of iron ore. The next, the Turkey, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, these are the countries also, it's produced the iron ore. So next, we are going to see coal. In which are the places we can get the coal in Asia? Coal is the fossil fuel. We know very well, coal is a fossil fuel we can use in a, what is it? Train or railways. So Asia has the largest deposits of coal in the world. So iron ore also, Asia is the, what is it? Asia is the largest producer of iron ore. At the same time, coal also. In Asia, the, what is it? Deposit the coal. Next, China and India. Again, China and India is the, what is it? Or the largest producers of the coal in Asia. Same. China and India. Iron also, what is it? China and India produce large number of the iron ore. Coal also, that China and India produce the more number of coals. The next one, petroleum. The next one we are going to see petroleum. Petroleum is a mineral oil. So the largest petroleum reserves are found in Southwest Asia. Here, Southwest Asia, here they are producing that petroleum. They are producing petroleum south and east. The important petroleum producing countries are, which are the countries are producing the petroleum? Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, Bahrain, Qatar and UAE. That means United Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates. So these are the countries are producing the petroleum. The next, South China, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, India and Russia. So these are the other important petroleum producing countries in Asia. Not only these are the countries, many countries are producing the petroleum in Asia. So next we are going to see bauxite. In where they found the bauxite? In India and Indonesia. India and Indonesia, they are produce the bauxite. The next, India is the largest producer of mica. So if you see mica, that is also, it's a very important mineral. In India, they found the mica. The next one, tin, is found in Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia and Indonesia. So these are the countries they are producing the tin. So mineral resources are over. Compared with the other countries, Asia is produced large number of variety of minerals. Particularly in China and India, they are producing many mineral resources. Next, we are going to see agriculture. Agriculture means that 18% of total area is cultivable in Asia. Cultivable means it's favorable to cultivate the crops. So 18% of land in Asia is cultivable. Okay. So agriculture is the chief occupation of the people here. So in Asia, the main occupation there, the major occupation is agriculture. So the river valleys in southeast, East Asia. In a river valleys, southeast, East Asia, they have a rich alluvial soil. The rich alluvial soil means it's a fertile soil to grow the crops. So these are the places has a rich alluvial soil. Then the agriculture is intensively practiced in the riverine plains. What is riverine plains? That means produced by the rivers. So which are the places are produced by the river? That's called riverine plains. Okay, so the agriculture is intensively practiced in the riverine plains of Asia. So however, some areas are not suitable for the agriculture. We can't cultivate the crops in all the places. In some other places we can't cultivate, but compare with the other places, most of the areas are cultivable in Asia. So the most of the West Asian countries cultivate their crops based on the groundwater level. Because in other places they are getting the water from the river. So if you compare with West Asia, they are getting the water facilities where the groundwater level is nearer from the surface. So the Iraq practices agriculture activities based on the availability of rainfall. So in Iraq, they won't get the water in throughout the year. So based on the rainfall only, they are cultivating the crops. Then not only the rainfall, the availability of water or supply of the water from the Aratus and the Tigris river. So Iran get the water facility from the Aratus and the Tigris rivers. So now we are going to see the main crops, which are the crops are cultivated in Asia. Many crops are given: rice, wheat, jute, cotton, sugar cane, coffee, tea, rubber, palm trees, cocoa, dates, and then bajra, jowar, ragi. Many crops are cultivated in Asia. Now we are going to see one by one. Rice and wheat are the staple food crops in Asia. Main staple food in Asia are rice and wheat. Then the leading producers of rice in the world, if we compare with the other continent, Asia only is producing more number of crops, particularly in rice. In other important rice producing countries are not only the China and India, other countries also producing the rice: Myanmar, Japan, Bangladesh and Thailand. So the next, monsoon area is suitable for rice cultivation because of usually we know very well where we are getting rainfall, then soil facility, that fertile plains, wherever we can get the crops. So same thing for that monsoon area is suitable for the rice cultivation because of the availability of rainfall, fertile plains and the labors, availability of labors also. Then the Thailand is called the rice bowl of East Asia, Southeast Asia. Which country is called the rice bowl of rice bowl? The Thailand, because the more number of crops is cultivated in Thailand, particularly the rice. So Southeast Asia, Thailand is called the rice bowl. The next one, wheat. Wheat is grown in a temperature region of Asia region. What is temperature means? That means what is a moderate or mild region. So in this places only we can cultivate the wheat. Particularly Russia, India, China and Pakistan. Russia, China, India and Pakistan, they are cultivating the wheat. Next one, not only the rice and wheat, they are cultivate the bajra, jawar, ragi and sargam. These are the crops also cultivated in Asia. Next, we are going apart from that, they are cultivating many pulses, spices and oil seeds. Not only rice, wheat, they are producing pulses, spices and oil seeds also. Next one, jute and cotton are the important natural fibers cultivated in Asia. So 1/3 of that jute and cotton, 1/3 of jute and cotton are cultivated in Asia. The major cotton producing countries are India, China, Russia, Kazakhstan. So these are the countries they are producing the cotton. Next, jute. India, Pakistan, China and Bangladesh, they are producing the jute. The next one is sugar cane. The tropical, wet and dry climate is suitable for the sugar cane. Tropical, wet and the dry climate. So which are the countries that cultivate the sugar cane? India, Indonesia and Philippines. India, Indonesia and Philippines, they are producing the sugar cane. The next one, coffee, tea, rubber, palm trees, cocoa. These are the crops also cultivated in many countries in Asia. Which are the countries? India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia and Indonesia. These are the countries that are important on producer of plantation crops. The next one, natural rubbers. Malaysia and Thailand. Malaysia and Thailand are important leading producer of natural rubbers. Next one, dates. So we know very well, usually we are getting the dates from the Arabian country, that West Asia. So the dates are produced in West Asia. Among the countries, Iran. Iran is the largest producer of dates in the world. Iran. The next important third one is fishing. So apart from the agriculture, the fishing also it's one of the economic activity in Asia. Fishing. Fishing is an important economic activity in Asia. It's prevalent in open seas. Usually they are using the fishing in open seas as well as inland water bodies in seas. Then inland water bodies like a river, lake, all the things they are using. Next, the China and Japan are the leading fishing nations. If we take Asia, means more or less that economic activities are happen in China and India only. So fishing also, India and China and Japan are the leading fishing nations. In Cambodia, Tunnel Snap Lake is one of the world's richest sources of freshwater fishing. Next, the Bay of Bengal is the major fishing ground for India. Bay of Bengal is located in east side of the India. Bay of Bengal is one of the major fishing ground in for India. Next, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Bangladesh also, they are using the fishing. Then fishing is the mainstay of the national economic in Maldives. In the Maldives also they are using that fishing is the main economic activity. Not only the fishing, the pearl fishing is the popular in the eastern coast of Arabia. Eastern coast of Arabia, they are using the pearl fishing. So next, we are going to see industrial regions. Industrial regions. So the three important countries are mentioned: the China, Japan, and India. When we see the industrial regions, the three countries are play the main role of the industrial regions. If we take China, which are the places are famous for the industrial regions? Manchurian, Shanghai, Wuhan, Peking, Shenyang, then Budangan. These are the places are very famous in China. Next, Japan, Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, Kyoto. Then these are the regions main industrial regions of Japan. Next one, India. If we take India, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Coimbatore, Bangalore, Chota Nagpur. These are the regions are famous in industrial regions in India. So next we are going to see transport of Asia. Usually we know transport means we can see the road transports, railways and the waterways. So now we see one by one. Transport is the backbone of the economic development activity. If we take any one activity, that transport is very important, because without transport we can't carry the things to one place to another place, one country to another country. This is not possible. So the transport is the backbone of the economic activities of the region. Many Asian countries are developing their transport network for their economic process. Many countries, they involve in the transport activities for their economic purpose. So roadways, compare with the other ways, roadways is very important, most common mode of transport in Asia. Roadways only, particularly many of them using the roadways. So now we see one by one. Roadways. The Asian highway connects Tokyo the east to Turkey in west. So if we take roadways, the Asian highways, usually they are mentioned AH. Asian highway means AH. So it's connect the place Tokyo in east, then Turkey in the west. So it's connecting the roadway from east to west. Tokyo to Turkey, then north in Russia, in the north side Russia and south side Indonesia. So in connecting all the sides, roadways is connecting all the sides of Asia. So if we take the total length of the roadways, what's that? 1,41,000 kilometers. Roadways 1,41,000 kilometers it's covered. Asia. So how many countries are used to pass us through the countries? 32 countries. How many countries? 32 countries. The roadways passes through the 32 countries. Then the Asian Highway 1 is the largest highway. Already I said AH means Asian Highway. Asian Highway 1 is the largest highway in the Asian country. The next, it connects Tokyo to Turkey. Already I said Tokyo to Turkey, it's connect the Asian highways. Then the Asian Highway 43. Now I said Asian Highway 1. Now Asian Highway 43 runs from Agra in India to Madaka in Sri Lanka. Here in India, Asian Highway 43. It's connect Agra in India to, it's Madaka in Sri Lanka. Here also Asian Highway 43, it's connect the places. The next one is railways. Railways is the second transport in Asia. So the Trans-Siberian Railways is the largest route in the world. Which is the longest rail route in Asia? Trans-Siberian Railways. It's connect 9,258 kilometers. Then it is a transcontinental railway. What is transcontinental railway? That means they are using that passes through the continent also, not the countries, one continent to another continent. So the rail routes, it passes through the continent to continent. That's why they are mentioned transcontinental railway line which connects Langenkat and the Vladivostok. It's connected the two places. The next, the Trans-Asian Railway links Singapore and Istanbul in Turkey. This Trans-Asian Railway connects that Singapore and Istanbul in Asia and Turkey. The next one, the Shinkansen bullet train. Shinkansen bullet train is the world famous super express train. Which is the world famous super train? The Shinkansen in a bullet train that runs between Osaka and Tokyo. Osaka, it passes Osaka and Tokyo in Japan. That speed is 352 kilometers per hour. Per hour, the train passes 352 kilometers. That's why they are calling it's a world famous super express train. The Shinkansen bullet train. Then the Indian railway network, compare with the other continents or other country, that Indian railway network is the second largest railway network in Asia. In Asia, our Indian railway is the second largest railway. So next we are going to see waterways. The third one is waterways. So the Gap of Good Hope. That means the route name, the Cape of Good Hope. The route connects Europe to South Asia. Europe to South Asia, it's connecting the waterways. The train Pacific routes connects the ports Eastern Asia to the ports of Western American countries. So it's connect to east to west. It's connect the countries' ports, especially the ports Eastern Asia to Western American countries. Till the American countries also they are using the waterways. The Swiss Canal route passes through the heart of the world trade route and connects Europe with South and Southeast Asia. Here Europe, so it's connect Europe to South and Southeast Asia. So here it's connect west to east, at the same time north to south. So it's all the sides is cover the waterways. Then Tokyo, Shanghai, Singapore, Hong Kong, Chennai, Mumbai, Karachi and Dubai are the important seaports in Asia. So which are the seaports are famous in Asia? Tokyo, Shanghai, Singapore, Hong Kong, Chennai, Mumbai, Karachi and Dubai. So next, transport is over. So all the economic activities are over. Next we are going to see the cultural mosaic of Asia. Cultural mosaic of Asia. Below the topic we are going to discuss about population, religion and language, art and architecture, food, dance and music, festivals. Okay. So first we are going to see population. Asia is the most populated continent in the world. So what is that? 6/10 of the world's population. 6/10 of population in Asia. Approximately 6/10 of in the world's population lives in Asia. So the population is universally disputed because of the various physical features. So that population is based on the various physical features. Particularly if we say China and India alone cover 3/5 of Asian countries. 3/5 of Asian countries. Now what is it? If we take Asia, many countries are there. So overall 6/3 of 10 is a population in India. Particularly China and India has the 3/5 of population, 3/5 of population in Asia. The next, apart from these two countries, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Japan, Pakistan and Philippines have the more than 100 million populations. Apart from the China and India, the other countries also have a more number of population, that 100 million populations. Then the population density in Asia, 143 person per kilometer. If we compare 1 kilometer means 143 persons per kilometer. Then India, Japan, Bangladesh, Singapore have high population density. Which are the countries? India, Japan, Bangladesh and Singapore have the high population density. If we compare the river plains and the industrial regions, river plains and the industrial regions have the high density of population, whereas low density is found in the interior part of Asia. If we see in the interior part of Asia, the populations are in a river plains and the industrial regions. The next, religion and language. Already we know that we can see many, what is it? We are following many religious, we are talking or we are speaking many languages in India. So if we compare the Asia, that the same thing, they are following many religious works. Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, Christianity and Sikhism are the major creeds in Asia. So these are the religious or major creeds. If we see the lower grades, what is it? Zoroastrianism, Confucianism, Taoism. So these are the religious lower grades. So not only these religious, they are following many languages also. See, Mandarin, English, Indonesian, Japanese, Arabic, Korea, then Vietnamese, Hindi are the most widely spoken language in Asia. Next, we are going to see art and architecture. Art and architecture. We know very well our civilization, had found in a river plains. So, in the beginning itself, in an ancient period, we were very famous in art and architecture. So, Asia is the homeland of the three civilizations. What are the three civilizations? Already we have studied. Mesopotamian civilization, Indus Valley civilization and Chinese civilization. So, in Asia, it was the famous homeland of the three civilizations. So, from these three civilizations, they contributed to the architectural work on the early stage. So, we were famous in the early stage also. So, among the 7 wonders, if we see, 2 wonders are located in Asia. What are the 2 wonders? Then Asia, in Asia, Taj Mahal. It's one of the 7 wonders. And the Great Wall of China. So, the 2 wonders are located in our Asia. The next, the people of Yemen. The Yemen people, they built a mud skyscraper. Mud skyscraper thousands of years ago. They built it before the thousands of years. The Buddhist temple in West Cambodia, not in West and Southeast Asia. If we see West and Southeast Asia, West and Southeast Asia, they build many Buddhist temple. They build a Buddhist temple, and the temples, forts are fine example of Asian architecture. The temples and the mosques, temples, forts, palace, these are the things are famous for the Asian architecture. The next we are going to see food. Which are the food are famous in the Asian countries? Already we know when we are discussed about the agriculture, we have discussed rice, wheat, barley. These are the crops are cultivated in Asia. So the main food is rice, wheat, maize and barley are the staple food in Asia. Rice, wheat, maize and barley. The next, not only these crops, the dairy products also they use. Dairy products, fruits and nuts also are consumed. In East Asia, if you see in East Asia, they can't get that, what is it? Quality of rice and wheat. So their main food is, what is it? Bread and noodles. So they can't get the rice in a West Asian countries. They can't get the rice. There is no availability of rice. So they use the bread and noodles. Eastern Asian countries. The next, tea, coffee, green tea are the chief beverages. In West Asia, in East Asia they use the bread and noodles. In West Asia they use that meat, herbs, then olive oil are the prime ingredients in their food. Usually they are using in Western countries of Asia, they use the what is this? Meat, herbs and olive oil. These are the prime ingredients of their food. So next we are going to see dance and music in ancient countries. Already we know that we are using many different types of cultures in India. So in Asia, if you see in Asia, Yangi, dragon dance, then Kabaki. These are the dances are famous in East Asia. In East Asia here, which are the dances are famous? Yangi, dragon dance and Kabaki. So if we see Ramdai in Thailand, Ramdai is a famous dance. Then Bangara, Kathak and Bharatanatyam in India are also important dances. If we take India, Kathak, Bharatanatyam, Bangara, these are the dances are famous. The next, music. Now we are discuss only the dances, then music. The Sufi music and Arabic classical music. Sufi and Arabic classic musics are common in West Asia. In West Asia, we can use what's commonly see that Sufi and the Arabic classical musics. The next, the tinkling. Tinkling is the national dance in Philippines. Here, Philippines is located. Philippines, which dance is famous? Tinkling. It's the national dance of Philippines. Tinkling. Next, the festivals. Which are the festivals they are celebrating in ancient countries? The Mid-Autumn Festival, the Moon Festival. So these are the festivals they are celebrating in China, Taiwan and Vietnam. China, Taiwan, Vietnam, they are celebrating Mid-Autumn Festival, then Moon Festival. Next, Holi, Makara, Sankranti, Pongal in the major parts of India. Here, Pongal, Makara Sankranti, Holi. These are the festivals we are celebrating in India. Then Sukkot in Israel. If we take Israel, which is the dance of festival is famous, the Sukkot. These are the festivals it's mentioned the harvest festival. So when we are using celebrating the festivals, it's what is it? Prize that harvest festival. Then the snow culture festival, Chinese New Year, Taipusam, Diwali, Daiwan Lantern Festival, Sangran, Winter Light Festival are also some of the famous festivals in Asia. So many festivals are celebrated in Asia. The last and important thing of Asia, land of contrast. Why they are using the word land of contrast? You know, contrast means it's different. Many different types of things follow. So Asia is the biggest continent. Already we know that Asia is the biggest continent among the 7 continents. So it has different types of land features. When we have started the lesson, we have discussed about it has different types of landscapes, mountains, plateaus, valleys, very different types of landscape they use. So, such as mountain, plateaus, plain, valley, bay, island, etc. It also has different climate conditions. Can we get the same condition in all over the Asia? No. It's a different climates we can found in the Asia. So, different landforms, different climates. Then, apart from these, many races. Races means the peoples, the group of peoples. Many races and languages, religions and cultures. So, are followed by the people who live in India, Asia. So they follow the different festivals, they use the different languages, they follow that different types of cultures. That's why they say, that's why they called as Asia is the land of contrast. This is also important question. Why they mention Asia is the land of contrast? Because of that, it has different types of landscapes, then different types of climates. We are following many cultures, religion works, religious, many races, languages, festivals. That's why they called as Asia is the land of contrast. So in the next class, we are going to discuss about Europe fully. Okay. Here Asia is over. In this session, Asia is over. Thank you, students.